Ever wonder if you're prepared for an emergency situation? If the world took a sudden left turn, would you have what you need to survive? In an unpredictable world where anything can happen, being prepared is not just sensible, it's vital. We're not just talking about having a first aid kit or a flashlight. We're talking about a comprehensive strategy that ensures you and your loved ones can weather any storm. Enter the concept of a prepper pantry. It's more than just a stash of canned goods. It's a carefully curated collection of supplies designed to keep you alive and healthy, no matter what life throws your way. Having a well-stocked prepper pantry is not about fear. It's about peace of mind. It's about knowing that you're ready for the unexpected, that you have the resources to stand tall in the face of adversity. In this video, we'll guide you through the steps to stock your prepper pantry properly. So buckle up and let's get prepared. Before we dive in, what exactly is a prepper pantry? Well, it's not your everyday pantry stocked with a week's worth of groceries. A prepper pantry is a collection of food and supplies strategically stored for the long haul. It's a safety net, a backup plan for when life throws curveballs. It's different from a typical pantry because it's designed with the unexpected in mind. Think natural disasters, power outages, or even job loss. It's about self-reliance and preparedness, ensuring you and your loved ones have what you need to weather any storm. A prepper pantry isn't just filled with canned beans and rice, though those are staples. It's a thoughtfully curated selection of items that can sustain life over extended periods even without electricity or access to fresh goods. Now that we know what a prepper pantry is, let's move on to what you should be stocking in it. The foundation of any prepper pantry: water and food. This is where you start to build your survival fortress. Why water first? Because life can't exist without it. We can go weeks without food, but only a few days without water. It's recommended to store at least 1 gallon of water per person per day. This accounts for drinking, cooking, and basic hygiene. Remember to store your water in a cool, dark place, away from chemicals and heat sources. Now let's move on to the life-sustaining sustenance. Food. Non-perishable items are your best bet. They have a long shelf life and can withstand a variety of conditions. Think canned goods like fruits, vegetables, meats, and soups. They can last up to 2 to 5 years. Dried goods like pasta, rice, and beans are also a good choice, and they can last up to 10 years if stored properly. Don't forget about freeze-dried meals and MREs, meals ready to eat. They are compact, lightweight, and can last up to 25 years. They may not be gourmet, but they'll provide the nutrition you need. The key to preserving your food stash? Proper storage. Keep your food in a cool, dry place, away from light and heat. Moisture, heat, and light can degrade your food and shorten its shelf life. Use airtight containers and vacuum-sealed bags for maximum freshness. And here's a pro tip. Always check the expiration dates and rotate your food supply. It's a waste to let good food go bad. And in a survival situation, it's a risk you can't afford. Finally, don't forget about comfort foods. Things like chocolate, coffee, and canned fruit can provide a morale boost when times are tough. With your basics covered, you're already on your way to a well-stocked prepper pantry. But what else should you include? Well, stay tuned because we're about to dive into medical supplies and tools next. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. Beyond food and water, your prepper pantry should also include medical supplies and tools. Now, this statement might sound a bit strange to some of you. After all, when we think of a pantry, we usually imagine shelves stacked with canned goods and boxes of pasta, right? But preparing for the unexpected means considering all aspects of survival. And folks, that goes beyond just food and water. A first aid kit is a must-have in any prepper pantry. It's one of those things that you hope you'll never have to use, but you'll be mighty glad you have it if you do. Your kit should include basics like bandages, antiseptics, and wound dressings. But also consider items like tweezers, medical tape, and a digital thermometer. Over-the-counter medications like pain relievers, antihistamines, and antidiarrheals can also be invaluable in an emergency. Now you might be wondering about shelf life. Most medical supplies, if stored correctly, can last for several years. Medications usually have a use-by date printed on the packaging, but they can often be effective beyond this date. Just keep in mind that it's always better to replace expired items whenever possible. But let's not stop at medical supplies. There are other essential tools and household items that should have a place in your prepper pantry. A good quality, multi-purpose tool, for instance, can be a real lifesaver. Think of things like a Swiss Army knife or a Leatherman. They're compact, versatile, and can help you tackle a wide range of tasks. Other items to consider are duct tape, a hand-cranked radio, flashlights with extra batteries, and even a manual can opener. Yes, folks, the humble can opener. Because all those cans of beans in your pantry aren't much use if you can't open them, right? So, remember to think beyond food and water when stocking your prepper pantry. Medical supplies, essential tools, and practical household items can make your life a lot easier in an emergency situation. Remember, in an emergency situation, these items can be just as important as food and water. A well-stocked pantry is great, but a well-organized one is even better. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty of pantry organization and rotation. These two elements are vital to maintaining a well-stocked prepper pantry. It's not just about hoarding supplies, but about managing them effectively so that nothing goes to waste. Firstly, organization. Picture your pantry as a library and yourself as the librarian. You need to know what you have, where it is, and when it expires. For this, you might want to consider using labels and categories. Group similar items together, such as grains, canned goods, or medical supplies. That way, you'll know exactly where to go when you need something. It's also a good idea to label each item with the purchase date and the expiration date. This will give you a clear idea of your stock's lifespan. Now, let's dive into rotation. The concept here is first in, first out, or FIFO for short. This simply means using the oldest items first. By doing so, you ensure that nothing expires and goes to waste. When you buy new supplies, put them at the back of the pantry or the bottom of the pile, pushing the older items to the front. But remember, rotation isn't just about use, it's also about inspection. Regularly check your stock for signs of spoilage or damage. This is particularly important for canned goods, as dented or bulging cans can indicate a dangerous bacterial contamination. Lastly, keep a logbook. This might sound a bit over the top, but it's an effective way to keep track of your stock, especially if you have a large pantry. In this logbook, record what you have, how much of it, and when it expires. This will help you plan your meals, your shopping, and your rotation schedule. Remember, a prepper pantry is only as good as its organization. It's not just about having a bunch of supplies. It's about having the right supplies at the right time. Proper organization and rotation can make all the difference in an emergency situation. So there you have it, a step-by-step guide to stocking your prepper pantry. I hope you found this information insightful and it sparked some ideas for you. We began with the basics of what a prepper pantry is and why it's crucial to have one. We talked about how it's your lifeline during unexpected events, from natural disasters to sudden economic downturns. It's an assurance of food security and self-sustainability, a beacon of comfort in uncertain times. Then we dug deep into the heart of the pantry, water and food. We emphasized the importance of having a substantial supply of clean water, as it's the foundation of our survival. We also explored the various types of food items to stock up on, from canned goods to dried foods, and the 27 best survival foods that offer long-term storage and high nutritional value. Next, we discussed medical supplies and tools. We highlighted the necessity of having a well-stocked first aid kit and essential tools to ensure your safety and well-being. Remember, your pantry is not just about food, but also about being prepared for any injuries or emergencies that might arise. And finally, we touched on organization and rotation. We underlined the importance of keeping your pantry well organized to easily locate and access items. We also stressed the need for a proper rotation system, ensuring your supplies remain fresh and viable for when you need them most. As we wrap up, let's not forget the key message here. A successful prepper pantry requires planning, dedication, and a good understanding of your needs. It's about more than just stocking up. It's about creating a sustainable system for long-term survival. Remember, being prepared isn't about living in fear, it's about living with peace of mind. So get started on your prepper pantry today and face the future with confidence.